Play.
As a ticket sales, but also
No way, this was actually Neil Skupski, by the way.
what's this? Something about Neil Skupski is probably used to it. I don't get that one, sorry.
Okay. Neil Skupski showed up in the chat, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. There was someone called Neil Skupski in the chat, was there?
On these Polish streams, I sometimes do Zizhen Zhang would show up from time to time. I don't think it was actual Triple Z.
Listen, it probably wasn't Neil Skupski, but if it was, then they've done, or if it wasn't, sorry, they've done their homework because he is a Liverpool fan. Because his comment is
good. That was just like this elaborate, right? I like that.
Yeah, so they've done their homework, which is good because he's a Liverpool fan and therefore he wouldn't like my hat. But I'm suggesting that it wasn't him.
And yeah, Neil Skupski would also be suggesting Luke Johnson, of course, for a fellow Brit.
Brazy is convinced it's the real Neil Skupski. Jake is asking if it's the real Neil Skupski. Yeah, could be. I mean, if you're gonna fake being someone, then you're probably not going to choose Skupski, but then that's probably a good one to choose as a result.
Why wouldn't you choose Skupski?
You wouldn't choose him because you go for a big one. You know, why not be Martin? Yeah, but I mean, like in the world of tennis,
if it's the real Neil Skupski, now you kind of
be annoyed at that. As well as the Man United hat, I'm going to have to go on a big apology towards him, and yeah. I'm not big, he says. Yeah, there you go. Neil, if it's you, you're huge. But I'm still thinking that Neil, you're not Boris Becker. That's the one you got to choose, or Martina Navratilova, or Steffi Graf. I mean, you can go for a current player, I guess, but why not go for one of the legends like that in the singles?
I'm sorry, Neil. I think top 20. Well, former number one doubles. Like you're still big.
You're big, but
you're big to me. You're big to me.
But we still don't know if it's. And by the way, we're not going to get the truth out of Neil anyway, because if it's him, he's going to go, yeah, it's me. I'm the real Neil Skupski. And if he's not telling the truth and it really isn't Neil Skupski, he's going to go, yeah, it's me.
We'll never know, unless he like.
Well, no, how we'll know, Neil. If you are the real Neil Skupski, send me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter, and then we'll know. Neil's officially a friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show, Neil Skupski, actually, yes.
Or maybe the first enemy of the show, arguably, given the hat and the Liverpool.
Given what you said about him not being big, probably. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Neil, send me a DM and then I'm with you all the way.
Officially a friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a development. I've got a development in the Neil Skupski story. So the real Neil Skupski has definitely joined us on Instagram. So
wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he joined because on Instagram you can sort of see obviously who they are, and he's got the blue tick and everything. So.
And what is that interesting thing?
I'm guessing it's in response maybe to something I said, like about I think I'd go for a Becker or a Graf if I'm going to fake it. Anyway.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually kind of shocked.
I'm surprised that Neil, being a Liverpool fan, has tuned in to Diego Forlan, given what obviously happened between Liverpool and Manchester United in 2003. Oh, Anfield. Neil, just remember that match, 2-0.
And Neil would actually be old enough to remember this already, right? When he was in 2003.
Let's not talk about Neil's age. I mean, we don't want to.
I was saying old enough in 2003. Just that.
Yeah, ask Neil a question if you like in the live chat. Do that, and we'll share it if it's not too rude. Is that the last time United beat us? Neil, yeah, very funny, Neil, very funny. Yeah, you're having a nice little moment, obviously with Arne Slot, but yeah, we'll see how this season pans out. We'll see how this pans out. Yeah, so feel free to ask Neil a question. Neil, where in the world are you right now? If you're in mainland Europe, it's 2:10 in the morning, or if you're in the UK, 1:10, but maybe he's stateside.
Yeah, Jerzy Dudek, I mean, forever a legend for Liverpool, but not for that much at United.
Well, he's a legend for
Liverpool actually.
Yeah, of course, for the Champions League final.
Yeah, for Istanbul, but not for this one horrible blooper.
Yeah, Neil here. Look, normally we have a section, Neil, which is basically ask Damian or ask John or ask anyone who's on the show. But I do think that maybe you're going to get one or two more questions from the live chat than we might. But yeah, feel free, of course, to ask Damian or myself anything if you want for the next. We'll stay live for another 5 or 10 minutes as we've got tennis royalty here in the chat. Do you see how I've switched very quickly to tennis royalty now as I try and claw back some points? I'm kind of I'm 6 love, 5 love down, and I'm about to face tennis humiliation, and I'm trying to charm my way back into Neil's good books. So I've just got to share this comment again on the screen. So I would have met, not that Neil will remember, because it's not exactly probably the most memorable moment of his tennis career, but I would have met Neil last year at the Davis Cup. I might even have put a question to him, I don't know, at one of the press conferences for the British team, probably the pre-tournament press conference. He would have been there in Malaga. Anyway, all right, well, have we had a more famous person in our live chat than Neil Skupski? I think we haven't.
Nick Carter.
Yeah, Nurlan.
Nurlan probably.
It's a good time for us to say goodnight. Good night, Neil Skupski. Good night, Brazy. Good night, Ghosty. See you, Neil. Thanks very much. Yeah, take care.
Neil, yeah.
See you, Ghosty. See you, everyone else. And everyone else, including Neil, of course, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
As a ticket sales, but also
No way, this was actually Neil Skupski, by the way.
What's this? Something about Neil Skupski is probably used to it. I don't get that one, sorry.
Neil Skupski showed up in the chat, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. There was someone called Neil Skupski in the chat, was there?
On these Polish streams, I sometimes do Zhizhen Zhang would show up from time to time. I don't think it was actual Triple Z.
Listen, it probably wasn't Neil Skupski, but if it was, then they've done, or if it wasn't, sorry, they've done their homework because he is a Liverpool fan. Because his comment is
good. That was just like this elaborate, right? I like that.
Yeah, so they've done their homework, which is good because he's a Liverpool fan and therefore he wouldn't like my hat. But I'm suggesting that it wasn't him.
And yeah, Neil Skupski would also be suggesting Luke Johnson, of course, for a fellow Brit.
Brazy is convinced it's the real Neil Skupski. Jake is asking if it's the real Neil Skupski. Yeah, could be. I mean, if you're gonna fake being someone, then you're probably not going to choose Skupski, but then that's probably a good one to choose as a result.
Why wouldn't you choose Skupski?
You wouldn't choose him because you go for a big one. You know, why not be Martin? Yeah, but I mean, like in the world of tennis,
if it's the real Neil Skupski, now you kind of
be annoyed at that. As well as the Man United hat, I'm going to have to go on a big apology towards him, and yeah. I'm not big, he says. Yeah, there you go. Neil, if it's you, you're huge. But I'm still thinking that Neil, you're not Boris Becker. That's the one you got to choose, or Martina Navratilova, or Steffi Graf. I mean, you can go for a current player, I guess, but why not go for one of the legends like that in the singles?
I'm sorry, Neil. I think top 20. Well, former number one doubles. Like you're still big.
You're big, but
you're big to me. You're big to me.
But we still don't know if it's. And by the way, we're not going to get the truth out of Neil anyway, because if it's him, he's going to go, yeah, it's me. I'm the real Neil Skupski. And if he's not telling the truth and it really isn't Neil Skupski, he's going to go, yeah, it's me.
We'll never know, unless he like.
Well, no, how we'll know, Neil. If you are the real Neil Skupski, send me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter, and then we'll know. Neil's officially a friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show, Neil Skupski, actually, yes.
Or maybe the first enemy of the show, arguably, given the hat and the Liverpool.
Given what you said about him not being big, probably. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Neil, send me a DM and then I'm with you all the way.
Officially a friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a development. I've got a development in the Neil Skupski story. So the real Neil Skupski has definitely joined us on Instagram. So
wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he joined because on Instagram you can sort of see obviously who they are, and he's got the blue tick and everything. So
and what is that interesting thing?
I'm guessing it's in response maybe to something I said, like about, I think I'd go for a Becker or a Graf if I'm going to fake it. Anyway.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually kind of shocked.
I'm surprised that Neil, being a Liverpool fan, has tuned in to Diego Forlan, given what obviously happened between Liverpool and Manchester United in 2003. Oh, Anfield. Neil, just remember that match, 2-0.
And Neil would actually be old enough to remember this already, right? When he was in 2003.
Let's not talk about Neil's age. I mean, we don't want to.
I was saying old enough in 2003. Just that.
Yeah, ask Neil a question if you like in the live chat. Do that, and we'll share it if it's not too rude. Is that the last time United beat us? Neil, yeah, very funny, Neil, very funny. Yeah, you having a nice little moment, obviously with Arne Slot, but yeah, we'll see how this season pans out. Yeah, so feel free to ask Neil a question. Neil, where in the world are you right now? If you're in mainland Europe, it's 2:10 in the morning, or if you're in the UK, 1:10, but maybe he's stateside.
Yeah, Jerzy Dudek, I mean, forever a legend for Liverpool, but not for that much at United.
Well, he's a legend for
Liverpool actually.
Yeah, of course, for the Champions League final. Yeah.
Yeah, for Istanbul, but not for this one horrible blooper.
Yeah, Neil here. Look, normally we have a section, Neil, which is basically ask Damian or ask John or ask anyone who's on the show. But I do think that maybe you're going to get one or two more questions from the live chat than we might. But yeah, feel free, of course, to ask Damian or myself anything if you want for the next. We'll stay live for another 5 or 10 minutes as we've got tennis royalty here in the chat. Do you see how I've switched very quickly to tennis royalty now as I try and claw back some points? I'm kind of I'm 6 love, 5 love down, and I'm about to face tennis humiliation, and I'm trying to charm my way back into Neil's good books. So I've just got to share this comment again on the screen. So I would have met, not that Neil will remember, because it's not exactly probably the most memorable moment of his tennis career, but I would have met Neil last year at the Davis Cup. I might even have put a question to him, I don't know, at one of the press conferences for the British team, probably the pre-tournament press conference. He would have been there in Malaga. Anyway, all right, well, have we had a more famous person in our live chat than Neil Skupski? I think we haven't.
Nick Carter.
Yeah, Nurlan.
Nurlan probably.
It's a good time for us to say goodnight. Good night, Neil Skupski. Good night, Brazy. Good night, Ghosty. See you, Neil. Thanks very much. Yeah,
see you, Neil. Yeah.
See you, Ghosty. See you, everyone else, and everyone else, including Neil, of course. You know the drill. If you enjoyed this video,
make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
As a ticket sales, but also
No way, this was actually Neil Skupski, by the way.
What's this? Something about Neil Skupski is probably used to it. I didn't get that one, sorry. Okay.
Neil Skupski showed up in the chat, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. There was someone called Neil Skupski in the chat, was there?
On these Polish streams, I sometimes do Zhang would show up from time to time. I don't think it was actual Triple Z.
Listen, it probably wasn't Neil Skupski, but if it was, then they've done, or if it wasn't, sorry, they've done their homework because he is a Liverpool fan. Because his comment
is good. That was just like this elaborate, right? I like that.
Yeah, so they've done their homework, which is good because he's a Liverpool fan and therefore he wouldn't like my hat. But I'm suggesting that it wasn't him.
And yeah, Neil Skupski would also be suggesting Luke Johnson, of course, for a fellow Brit.
Brazy is convinced it's the real Neil Skupski. Jake is asking if it's the real Neil Skupski. Yeah, could be. I mean, if you're gonna fake being someone, then you're probably not going to choose Skupski, but then that's probably a good one to choose as a result.
Why wouldn't you choose Skupski?
You wouldn't choose him because you go for a big one. You know, why not be Martin? Yeah, but I mean, like in the world of tennis,
if it's the real Neil Skupski, now you kind of
be annoyed at that. As well as the Man United hat, I'm going to have to go on a big apology towards him, and yeah. I'm not big, he says. Yeah, there you go. Neil, if it's you, you're huge. But I'm still thinking that Neil, you're not Boris Becker. That's the one you got to choose, or Martina Navratilova, or Steffi Graf. I mean, you can go for a current player, I guess, but why not go for one of the legends like that in the single?
I'm sorry, Neil. I think top 20. Well, former number one doubles. Like you're still big.
You're big, but
you're big to me. You're big to me.
But we still don't know if it's. And by the way, we're not going to get the truth out of Neil anyway, because if it's him, he's going to go, "Yeah, it's me. I'm the real Neil Skupski." And if he's not telling the truth and it really isn't Neil Skupski, he's going to go, "Yeah, it's me." But
we'll never know, unless he like.
Well, no, you know how we'll know, Neil. If you are the real Neil Skupski, send me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter, and then we'll know. Neil's officially a friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show, Neil Skupski, actually, yes.
Or maybe the first enemy of the show, arguably, given the hat and the Liverpool.
Given what you said about him not being big, probably. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Neil, send me a DM and then I'm with you all the way.
Officially a friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a development in the Neil Skupski story. So the real Neil Skupski has definitely joined us on Instagram. So
wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he joined because on Instagram you can sort of see obviously who they are, and he's got the blue tick and everything. So
and what is that interesting thing?
I'm guessing it's in response maybe to something I said, like about, I think I'd go for a Becker or a Graf if I'm going to fake it. Anyway.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually kind of shocked.
I'm surprised that Neil, being a Liverpool fan, has tuned in to Diego Forlan, given what obviously happened between Liverpool and Manchester United in 2003. Oh, Anfield. Neil, just remember that match, 2-0.
And Neil would actually be old enough to remember this already, right? When he was in 2003.
Don't let's not talk about Neil's age. I mean, we don't want to.
I was saying old enough in 2003. You know, just that.
Yeah, ask Neil a question if you like in the live chat. Do that, and we'll share it if it's not too rude. Is that the last time United beat us, Neil? Yeah, very funny, Neil. Very funny. Yeah, you're having a nice little moment, obviously with Arne Slot, but yeah, we'll see how this season pans out. We'll see how this season pans out. Yeah, so feel free to ask Neil a question. Neil, where in the world are you right now? If you're in mainland Europe, it's 2:10 in the morning, or if you're in the UK, 1:10, but maybe he's stateside.
Yeah, Jerzy Dudek, I mean, forever a legend for Liverpool, but not for that much at United.
Well, he's a legend for
Liverpool actually.
Yeah, of course, for the Champions League final.
Yeah, for Istanbul, but not for this one horrible blooper.
Yeah, Neil here. Look, normally we have a section, Neil, which is basically ask Damian or ask John or ask anyone who's on the show. But I do think that maybe you're going to get one or two more questions from the live chat than we might. But yeah, feel free, of course, to ask Damian or myself anything if you want for the next. We'll stay live for another 5 or 10 minutes as we've got tennis royalty here in the chat. Do you see how I've switched very quickly to tennis royalty now as I try and claw back some points? I'm kind of I'm 6 love, 5 love down, and I'm about to face tennis humiliation, and I'm trying to charm my way back into Neil's good books. So I've just got to share this comment again on the screen. So I would have met, not that Neil will remember, because it's not exactly probably the most memorable moment of his tennis career, but I would have met Neil last year at the Davis Cup. I might even have put a question to him, I don't know, at one of the press conferences for the British team, probably the pre-tournament press conference. He would have been there in Malaga. Anyway, all right, well, have we had a more famous person in our live chat than Neil Skupski? I think we haven't.
Nick Carter.
Yeah, Nurlan.
Nurlan probably.
It's a good time for us to say goodnight. Good night, Neil Skupski. Good night, Brazy. Good night, Ghosty. See you, Neil. Thanks very much. Yeah, take care.
Neil, yeah.
See you, Ghosty. See you, everyone else. And everyone else, including Neil, of course, you know the drill.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
As a ticket sales, but also
No way, this was actually Neil Skupski, by the way.
What's this? Something about Neil Skupski is probably used to it. I didn't get that one, sorry.
Neil Skupski showed up in the chat, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. There was someone called Neil Skupski in the chat, was there?
On these Polish streams, I sometimes do Zizhen Zhang would show up from time to time. I don't think it was actual Triple Z.
Listen, it probably wasn't Neil Skupski, but if it was, then they've done, or if it wasn't, sorry, they've done their homework because he is a Liverpool fan. Because his comment is
good. That was just like this elaborate, right? I like that.
Yeah, so they've done their homework, which is good because he's a Liverpool fan, and therefore he wouldn't like my hat. But I'm suggesting that it wasn't him.
And yeah, Neil Skupski would also be suggesting Luke Johnson, of course, for a fellow Brit.
Brazy is convinced it's the real Neil Skupski. Jake is asking if it's the real Neil Skupski. Yeah, could be. I mean, if you're gonna fake being someone, then you're probably not going to choose Skupski, but then that's probably a good one to choose as a result.
Why wouldn't you choose Skupski?
You wouldn't choose him because you go for a big one. You know, why not be Martin? Yeah, but I mean, like in the world of tennis,
If it's the real Neil Skupski, now you kind
he's gonna
of.
be annoyed at that, as well as the Man United hat. I'm going to have to go on a big apology towards him, and yeah, I'm not big. He says, yeah, there you go. Neil, if it's you, you're huge. But I'm still thinking that Neil, you're not Boris Becker. That's the one you got to choose, or Martina Navratilova, or Steffi Graf. I mean, you can go for a current player, I guess, but why not go for one of the legends like that in the singles?
I'm sorry, Neil. I think top 20. Well, former number one doubles. Like you're still big.
You're big, but
you're big to me. You're big to me.
But we still don't know if it's. And by the way, we're not going to get the truth out of Neil anyway, because if it's him, he's going to go, yeah, it's me. I'm the real Neil Skupski. And if he's not telling the truth and really isn't Neil Skupski, he's going to go, yeah, it's me.
We'll never know, unless he like.
Well, no, how we'll know, Neil. If you are the real Neil Skupski, send me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter, and then we'll know. Neil's officially a friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show, Neil Skupski. Actually, yes.
Or maybe the first enemy of the show, arguably, given the hat and the Liverpool.
Given what you said about him not being big, probably. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Neil, send me a DM and then I'm with you all the way.
Officially a friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Ready? Play.
Dana. Now I just need to get the TV on, and then I will bring you all up to date. Sorry for my delay. It's been a very busy day, but you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about Jannik Sinner and Daniil Medvedev. But maybe you can tell me, because I've missed the first 10 minutes. Let's share the score on the screen, which is going to be a massive surprise to me. Is it going to be 2-love Jannik? Oh, on serve, 2-1. How about that? Okay. Let me share it for you while you can all marvel at my disheveled look. I've been watching stuff as well, seeing that Mr. Nadal has arrived in Malaga. So, yes, let's check my microphone is plugged in. I'm going to be here for the next 10 minutes, and then you will have the pleasure of Tom. We may well get one or two others as well. Let's have a quick look at the live chat. Silky, that was an awesome stream last night. Thank you very much, Jake. Hey, Dave as well. Nerlan. Damian, did you see this? Damian is not here. I don't know if you've got confused there, Nerlan, but Damian might be here shortly. Oh, I see, because the previous video, of course, was us talking about Diego Forlan, of course, who was in action last night playing tennis professionally for the first and maybe only time in his life. Do let me know your thoughts on that, as well as this match. For those of you wondering, about this situation with the group. And can you all hear me? Okay, by the way, I hope you can. In terms of the group, we've got Daniil Medvedev needing a straight sets win to qualify after Taylor Fritz won earlier in 3 sets. So, yeah, that's the scenario. Medvedev serving second, so he's down 1-2. But yes, my timeline and stuff is full of Rafa Nadal's arrival in Malaga. Are we excited about that? Are you pumped? Audio is crispy. Okay, is that good? I don't know. Crisp can be good, but crispy maybe not. My microphone is just here. I might just attach it to my hoodie. Okay. Let's go, Rafa. We think he'll play dubs with Carlos or somebody else. Yes, but the problem is, though, Dave, is if he doesn't play singles, then he might not play at all if they lost 2-0. I think if he has shown some signs of being competitive, then he can play and will play singles. I know him and Roberto Bautista were practicing this week. Just watching that second point. That's a bizarre one. That Sinner there looking a bit stiff, isn't he? No shortage of tennis from Jannik in recent weeks, where he's been pretty much getting to the final wherever he played. I think it was Tokyo when he... Where was it? He played Tokyo against Carlos in the final and lost. He played Novak in the final as well in Asia and won. Paris Bercy didn't participate. I think he was a little bit ill and decided to keep his powder dry for the ATP Tour finals in his home country, of course. Yeah, well, basically, I think that they would just set up an exhibition, Brazy, but I also think that that's not the ideal manner. Anyway, over to you, Jannik, as Daniil holds with fairly comfortably. Also, I know Jake was talking about João Fonseca earlier. I know he won a 3-set battle with Andalusa earlier. Jannik Sinner here looking a little comfortable as well on his serve. We got our first 3-set match at this tournament earlier on today when Taylor Fritz came from a set down to Alex de Minaur. So if you are a Taylor Fritz fan, now you are a Jannik Sinner fan for sure. You just need Jannik to win a set. Ooh, I think it's gone wide. Yes, it has. So 30 love to Jannik Sinner. There you go. You trust David Ferrer to do the right thing. Do hit that like button, by the way. And of course, if you're new, do hit subscribe. What are we thinking in terms of this match? Are we thinking that Daniil can do what he needs to do, winning straights? It's a real tall order, I think. I think it's a tall order to beat Jannik for anyone right now. But, of course, Daniil has lost 6 of his last 7 encounters with the Italian. Oh, Stefan Edberg there in the crowd. 2 game points for Sinner. And he holds with a swing volley.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damian and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
And we're back. Yeah, and maybe that stiffness that we saw from Jannik might have a bearing. I just think that still to win in straights against Jannik, something, of course, that Daniil hasn't done for well over a year. In Miami, I think it was straight sets, although he's under a bit of pressure here already. He'll have 15 down on his serve. He was super sharp. I agree with that, Dave, which kind of maybe surprised some of us, me in particular. He's winning, both players doing very well on first serves, by the way. 6 out of 6 points won for Jannik on his first serve and 9 from 10 for Medvedev. But it's going to be a second serve here. And Daniil puts the backhand into the net. So here comes the pressure point. Daniil gets his first serve in, but he's not taken over the point, and he's hit that backhand wide. Daniil. It's on the first of those 2 break points, though, so it's back to 30-40. And he saved the second one as well, unreturnable. Although maybe Jannik could have done a bit better on the return there. It was a first serve, but he still could have done, maybe should have done better. Tom, are you ready? If you are, just bring yourself forward.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
How are you?
Yes, I'm very well, John. I'm very,
I hear
very
you at the
well.
moment, Tom. Oh, it's because my volume's down. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Very well. Good to be watching this match. Just caught the start of it there as I was finishing my day job. And I caught some of your content, John. I watched the Neil Skupski video, the 7-minute video.
I was running late,
funny.
so I just put it on repeat for the first sort of 10 minutes. But yeah, what did you think?
Very, very witty, very witty. I think it was very well edited together. So well done. I liked it. It was very good.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go backstage, Tom, but I'm not too far
Okay.
away. If there's any big issues, I'll be around. Damian might join at some point in the second set. Vanch is also a maybe as well. But other than that, I'm not too far away.
All right, not a problem. I'm just going to give myself a bit more light.
Get yourself a bit more light. Let there be light.
Okay, guys. So, hello. Welcome, tennis lovers, and thanks for bearing with us. You've swapped an Englishman for a Scotsman, and we're much better, aren't we? So yeah, Medvedev and Sinner. What is there left to say about these two in the meeting? I think 15th meeting they're having. Of course, Medvedev led 6-love, won the first 6 throughout 2021 and 2023. And then it's all been pretty much Jannik Sinner up into the last 8, hasn't it? He's won 7 of the last 8. Only blotch on that is Wimbledon this year, of course. These guys have met in 3 of the 4 Grand Slams, including that Aussie Open final. So there's not much these two don't know about each other. And it's a pretty simple permutation as into what has to happen here. Medvedev, Sinner already through to the semi-finals. Medvedev pretty much just has to win in straight sets. And an interesting stat that I found out about Jannik Sinner, and I'm sure many of you tennis aficionados will already know this, but Medvedev hasn't. Sinner has taken this at least one set in his last 99 matches. Only once has he not done that. In the last 99 matches. Do we know when that was or who that was against? I'll let you guys know, but I'll talk you through these next couple of points. So I've got it at 3-15 I'm a little bit ahead. As I said, Daniil Medvedev needs to win in straight sets. As soon as Sinner wins a set, it is all over for the Russian. Sinner, of course, already through. And Taylor Fritz with another good win today, this afternoon. He's going to finish, more than likely, he's going to finish as a top 5 player. Taylor Fritz, top American again. And he is almost there. He, of course, beat Medvedev in that first match. Medvedev then beating Alex de Minaur. I think today's match between, and a guy is, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but am I right in saying today's match between de Minaur and Fritz, was that the first one that went beyond 2 sets? I think in the first 8 matches of this event, they've all been straight sets wins, which is unique. I think it happened again in 2014. I think Vanch had put a tweet out saying that this had happened in 2014, but I'll find that. But as I say, let me get the statage that I know. Still using Twitter, although most people going to Blue Sky. Are you going to Blue Sky? Are you going to stick with it? With Elon Musk's Twitter. Let's see if I can still get logged on. I thought my computer would remember my my username and password, but apparently not. So I'm just trying to log in now. Save. What is Blue Sky? Well, I've only just downloaded it, Brazy, and good to see you tonight. But as far as I'm aware, it is just an alternate version of Twitter. It pretty much looks the same, talks the same. It's just, it's just, I think a lot of people are shifting over to Blue Sky from Twitter as they see Twitter as a declining force. I'm going to keep both, I think, but I'll just see what happens with the landscape, and just take it from there. But yeah, Blue Sky is pretty much just, just the same as Twitter, just a little bit different. Okay, that's as much as I know, Brazy. So go check it out, download it, have a look. If you don't like it, delete it. Why not? Okay, I'm just going to try and, while the players sit down, I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Okay, let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, there we go. So Medvedev needs to defeat Sinner in straight sets to advance into the ATP final semis. But Sinner has only lost one of his last 99 matches in straight sets. So it's leaving a pretty much 1% chance of Medvedev getting through this. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may have seen who that defeat had come against. The one defeat where Sinner didn't claim a set in the last 99 matches. Did you see it? If not, do you know? Trying to create a bit of suspense here, guys. Come on, work with me. Let's play the game a little bit. Players 4-3. Medvedev takes the first point of game 8. The 3-4 down, he's 7. But at least he's still in it. I know they met in that King of... was it? King of Slam Kings. What's that Saudi Arabian thing called? Kings of Clay or something. Anyway, they met there. But do you count that? Probably not. But it was an indoor. It was a hard court. So yeah. I think he had a fairly straightforward victory in Shanghai. 6 kings. Thank you, Super Dave. Always my buddy. Was it 6-1, 6-2 or something in Shanghai? Let me tell you. Bear with me, boys. Bear with me, boys and girls. I'm going to tell you what their matchup in... Why I cannot find this easily. I had it on my screen. Yeah, here we go. Yes, Shanghai 6-1, 6-4 for Jannik Sinner. Last time Medvedev, of course, won, as I mentioned earlier, 5 sets in Wimbledon. Excuse me, in the Wimbledon quarter final. So, yeah, Sinner now got 2 more break points. Medvedev gets the first set in. He's got Sinner on the ropes here, and just when he had Sinner exactly where he wants him, he sticks that into the net, and Sinner has the first break off serve. So remember, Sinner now going to be serving for the first set, and if he wins this game, Daniil Medvedev is out of the ATP finals, and Taylor Fritz will be progressing alongside world number 1 Jannik Sinner, with the man with the balls in his hand. He's going to be serving here, so he's 5-3 up. His last chance saloon here for Daniil Medvedev. And if you know Daniil Medvedev, will he continue to try and actually plug away? Will he? Set 2, if this goes the way of Jannik Sinner. We saw what he was like against Taylor Fritz when things weren't going his way. That'll be his season coming to an end. Surely he's just going to put the feet up. But hey, who am I to question Daniil Medvedev? A great champion. So players are, I'll talk us through the points of this one. Ball that's went long there. No challenge from Medvedev, of course. Electric line calling here in Turin. So it's 15-love to Sinner. I was going to say this, Super Dave, if you remember back to the Aussie Open final, and we were all kind of shocked at the way Daniil Medvedev started that final, of course, going 2-0 up. And I think, if I remember watching it, it was all to do with, we were all a little bit surprised at how aggressive Medvedev was. We know him as a player who just liked to stay in the rally, wait his opponent out, let them make the mistake. But the aggression and the shot making from Medvedev was really what surprised, me as a viewing fan, and obviously Sinner on court. Now, I think he just ran out of legs a bit. Of course, he had this Zverev marathon as well in the semi-final. But Sinner is absolutely sauntering to this game here. 3 set points, 3 Daniil exit points. Yeah, he did. I couldn't agree with you more. Super aggressive start, ran out of steam, probably because of the 5-hour epic against Zverev, where he was the one that came from 2 sets down. Jannik Sinner serves down the tee. Medvedev cannot get it back, and Daniil Medvedev is out of the ATP finals. He cannot progress, even if he comes back and wins this one, which I'm sure he will look to do. But yeah, it is Jannik Sinner and Taylor Fritz who are the first semi-finalists. Of course, an intriguing day tomorrow. Carlos Alcaraz, Carlos Alcaraz basically against Zverev in a match he has to win. Of course, he's not been well, and he got beat by Casper Ruud in his first match. He redeemed himself a little bit by beating Andrei Rublev in match 2, but that'll be the big one. I think that's a day match at 2 p.m. British time. Yeah, I know, Bryzy. Alcatraz, what am I saying? Free Carlos, indeed. Glad you're here, Brazy, to pick me up on my mistakes. But, I'm a thick-skinned lad. And, I'll hold my hands up when I get a little bit tongue-tied. So, okay, so let's look at the tail of the first set. Jannik Sinner won 100% of his first serve points. You're not going to win many sets of tennis if you can't. Well, will it be a great? Do you know what I should have said, Super Dave? Will it be a super? No, so you are Super Dave. Will it be a great escape from Alcaraz tomorrow? That would have worked. Okay, I'll remember that next time. If you hear somebody saying that in commentary tomorrow, you know that they've been watching Talking Tennis this evening and they've stolen it. So I'm copywriting that. Escape from Alcaraz. Yeah, and that is if he beats the man of the moment. Zverev, of course, Paris-Bercy Masters champion, comes into this as one of the favourites. Yes, I do, Brazy. I am a journalist by trade, so but would you believe puns don't really work in terms of SEO writing for online these days? So yeah. It's more you just have to spell it out to the reader, and try not be as clickbaity as some. But yeah, okay. So set 2 is underway. What do we think? Is Daniil Medvedev going to push the boat out and try and win this match, try and turn it around, or will he put the feet up? He cannot qualify now. So shall we see? Yeah, Super Dave, I couldn't agree more. I think we've got a couple of Alcaraz fans who will be doing the stream tomorrow. Already Medvedev having a little bit of a mess around. The ball went over his head. It went well long from Sinner, and Medvedev trying some sort of weird tweener movement, even though the point was already won. So maybe a hint that Medvedev is going to try and entertain the crowd, shall we say, in this second set. And why not? They paid a bit of money. He's not going to tank, but I'm sure he'll be disappointed not to have got through. And remember, it was very much all down to the first match against Taylor Fritz, where he was all over the place, throwing the racket about, time violations, sportsmanship violations, the whole shebang, the whole full house. So we'll see where he goes with this. Making short work of this first game of the set. He has 3 game points, but he will be going home. And what would you say of Medvedev's year? A lot of the players have now caught up with Medvedev. Many cases overtaking him. I think he's down to 4 in the world. Is he? He was world number 1, was he, at this time last year, or this time 2 years ago? So yeah, it has been a bit of a fall by Daniil. Let's me just check. But he has the game, he has the style that he is a unique player. I just wonder what's the I'd like to gauge your thoughts. What do we think about Medvedev's year? Of course, started the year as a Aussie Open finalist. Yeah, did okay at Wimbledon, getting to the semi-finals again. Yeah, what's our thoughts on the Medvedev year? Will he be will be looking at 2025 with any optimism? Will he, have to try and change up something, work on his serve? His serve, when he's got it firing, can be a weapon for him. But at the same time, when it isn't, it's double fault galore. So what can Medvedev going into 2025? What can he change? What can he do? And how will he look back on 2024? So Medvedev wraps up that game. I realised I've still got this this share up of my screen. So I'm going to. Oh no, that was the wrong button as well. God, having a mare here, troops. Having an absolute mare. Okay, I will fix this. Don't you worry. Or will I? You're just seeing my face right now and I'm trying to fix this. There we go. Oh, well. Nearly there. Nearly there. Does that work? That works. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Okay, so, yeah, a couple of people adding to their thoughts. Sean, good to see you, Sean. He's saying Medvedev will struggle as he gets older, as he relies on that crazy defence. Have players worked Medvedev out? Have they figured out how to play the long game with Daniil Medvedev? Get inside his head. He still seems to have the number over Sasha Zverev, though. They went through that period where they met a lot of times, and even on the clay, where Zverev has won in Madrid, but yeah, Medvedev can cause him problems. So I just wonder where does he go from here? I've written him off before. I wrote him off after he was beaten in 2023 against Korda in the Aussie Open, and I just said maybe this is the start of the death of Daniil Medvedev. But he then won, what was it, Miami or Indian Way Miami, I think it was. And he then won Rome, actually. Sorry, it was Rome. He won Rome on the clay. Yeah, had a decent year, semi-final Wimbledon again. Got to the final of the US Open against Djokovic. So yeah, it's it's just I just wonder. I wonder where he goes from here, and what's the next step for Daniil Medvedev? Is he going to end his career as a one-time Grand Slam champion? Of course, that 2022. Was it 2022 now? God. Yeah, it was 2022 US Open. Oh, no, it was 2021, wasn't it? It was 2021. God. Because it was Alcaraz, US Open 22. Then it was Djokovic again. And then it was Sinner this year. So there you go. Okay, 1-1 now. Medvedev 7 again. Sinner with love 15. Talk us through the next couple of points. The last 23 points, Sinner has won 18 of them and Medvedev just 5. So again, momentum is definitely on the Italian side, although Medvedev sees out one. Good serve down the tee, a block return by Jannik Sinner, and the +1 up at the net is put away neatly by Daniil Medvedev. Good point. I think he's maybe just a bit tired now. It's been a long year. You need to go away, regroup, When he said brainstorm with a coach on how to beat the best, does Daniil Medvedev have the capability now to change aspects of his game that would be able to hurt these players? You know, look at this. Look at the Sinner record as an example. 6-0 first 6 meetings. Up until last year. This was up until Beijing, was it not? Last year. Now they've met 8 times. This is the 15th meeting, but 8 times previous, Jannik Sinner 7-1. So they're at 7-0. Only Wimbledon as the only blotch. And this is likely going to be 8-7 in favour of Jannik Sinner now. And Jannik Sinner now has a break point. So what can Medvedev do to stop the rot? Break point, Jannik Sinner. First serve not found its mark, so we have a second serve here. Will Jannik Sinner step up and be right on top of this? Goes for a big return. Medvedev meets it though, forehand by Sinner. Medvedev slice backhand by both players now. They're playing the game, but Jannik Sinner is taking control of this rally. He's going to put him away. No, Damian, great defence, and it goes long. Jannik Sinner breaks serve early in the second set. He leads 2-1 as the players sit down. Okay. I like the point you make, Brazy. Do you think Daniil Medvedev has much of a volley, or are you meaning as coming into the net with the ball on the rush? Because he put away a nice volley there a minute ago, and just wonder what you thought. The Italian fans happy in Turin. Surely going to be between Medvedev and Zverev. Got to be. I mean, I don't know. Alcaraz is unwell. He says not 100%. Again, another player who I think come January, I'll make him my favourite for the Aussie Open, because I said this on the stream before. Alcaraz doesn't have that Aussie Open just yet. He's got everything else. He's got the 3 other slams. He is going to prioritise the hard court of Australia. So I'm going to make him my favourite now. But he, again, needs to just go away, regroup, forget about, the tail end of this year, and just get back to playing tennis and looking happy on the court. Yeah, Breezy. I mean, I was actually going to come on this stream and say to this point here, the only way I could see Medvedev winning this was if he waited out, did the long points, waited out Sinner, and just hope that he would, last longer. He would have the better fitness level, but he's not going to have that against Jannik Sinner. So that was the only hope I could give. But Jannik Sinner, just his defence now is highly improved. He's one of the best defenders in the game right now. His forehand and his backhand are shot quality. I know for a fact, according to Tennis Insights, his Jannik Sinner's forehand and backhand are so far ahead of the rest of the group behind him. He is just at the top of his game, by far and away the best player of 2024. Just looking now, points won and served in the match. Sinner's won 24 of 27 points. Daniil Medvedev doesn't have an answer, doesn't have a return to hurt Jannik Sinner. And that's a shame. That's a shame, because Daniil Medvedev was a problem player. He could beat the big guys, and it feels that sorry, I've got distracted by Brazy's point. I agree with you. He needs to shorten the points in his tails, but does he have the firepower to do that? Does he have the winner maker, the haymaker? Does he have that power to put away one of these angles, one of these ferocious forehands that's going to get these guys unable to defend it and get it back? I don't think he does. So I don't see where Daniil Medvedev goes unless he changes something up big style. And it might be that let's win, come to the net. As he comes to the net right now, Sinner sees it happening, tries to pass him. The volley is nothing, and it's a Sinner point. So he's trying something different here. He just rushed up to the net on the return. Sinner called it, and he was in a bit of no man's land. So looking a bit of a lost boy is Daniil Medvedev. He just probably wants to get out of here now, get the season, close the shutters on 2024, go and see his young family, and come back rejuvenated. You never know. Multiple finalist in Australia, multiple times being 2-0 up, and multiple times not taking that opportunity. So he'll have a soft spot for Australia, and he'll be looking to claim that. So let's see come January where Daniil Medvedev is, but something needs to change. Okay, so good chat though, lads. Brazy, some great points, mate. Might be a small sniff of hope for Daniil. He's at 30 on the Sinner serve, so a couple of points in this game, which I don't remember him actually getting to. Previous. I know he's only won 3 points previous to this game. So let's see where he goes with it. We're on a Sinner's second serve here, so Medvedev stepped up a little bit. Oh, and the ball was there to be hit, and he totally mishits the backhand. It's got to be a foxy carrot, Super Dave. Got to be. Okay, so we're on 40-30 Sinner. Again, that was because of a mishit by the backhand of Daniil Medvedev. Sinner will serve out wide, comes into the net and puts away the volley. We have 3-1 Jannik Sinner. And I fear this match does not have too long to it. What time does it start at? 7:45. I'd be surprised if this gets much longer than an hour. I just have the feels that another Daniil Medvedev break of serve here, and he'll literally throw in the towel. Good serve down the tee, block return by Sinner. That great defence again. He's just gotten back into the rally, but an overhead smash by Daniil Medvedev puts that away. 15 love. Remember, guys, if you haven't already, and you can see that ticker along the bottom of the screen, hit the like button on this episode, and please, please, please subscribe to the channel. It is an always growing channel, just over 2 years old, or already over 11,000 subscribers. It's getting bigger. We have plenty of tennis content coming in 2025, and you even get the likes of former doubles #1 Neil Skupski joining the chat, having a bit of banter with John and co. I don't know if you guys seen that last night. I think it transpired that indeed it was. It took a while for them to verify. John was a bit sceptical. Was also a bit harsh, saying he wasn't a big enough name. I felt a little bit for Neil there. But yeah, so who knows? Monte Carlo Beach is what's the beach in Monaco called? Is that a famous beach? I've never been. As you can tell by my peely white skin, I don't see much of the sun. Medvedev 40-15 though. Yes, I agree, Sean. But I think that the point John was trying to make, he was like, why would anyone impersonate Neil Skupski? Why would they not go for like a Boris Becker or one of the all-time greats? Not to say that Mr. Skupski, I'm not going to go down this road again. He's not getting slammed 2 nights in a row on the channel. Big fan, Neil. Please say hello if you're watching there, creeping about in the background. Please say hello. Daniil Medvedev wins that one. So we're at 2-3. The players sit down. And yeah, so what are we thinking tomorrow then in terms of the second pool? Zverev Alcaraz is the first one up at 2:00. Yes, I saw that, Brazy. So yeah, and then Rublev Ruud tomorrow. So it's going to be another intriguing one tomorrow night. So yeah, I'll hopefully try and catch some of that Alcaraz Zverev match on the fly tomorrow. Just have a wee peek at it on my phone, because again I'll be doing the day job. Just trying to find out when exactly, because I said that Daniil Medvedev was, a former number one. When was that? When did he last? Anyway. Just looking back at Medvedev's season, yeah, Australian Open, Indian Wells finalist, of course. They're his two best results. It's very odd that Daniil Medvedev goes through a season without a title, but that's going to happen. That is going to happen this year. No 2024 title, so he's going to be disappointed with that. Okay, 15 love, Jannik Sinner. Let's take you through a couple of points, just in case you can't see the action. You might be listening in the car, you might be on the go, you might be listening on your headphones as you have a walk in the sunshine somewhere, dark and cold and gloomy behind me. Okay, Jannik Sinner, forehand to the deuce court. And surprisingly, he goes wide of the tram mark. So it's 15-all. Medvedev had won 3 points before the last Sinner service game. Medvedev had claimed 3 points in the whole match. He's just matched that in the last two games, because they did get to 40-30 in the last one. So 15-all here. Will the match still be happening? John's going to join us in the next 10 or so. Strange volley by Medvedev. It stays in by Sinner. It stays in the court. Medvedev sends Sinner the wrong way. So we have 15-30 on the Medvedev serve. Maybe just a dip from Jannik Sinner. Maybe thinking the job is done. Doesn't need to really put much effort. He's already maybe thinking about conserving energy for the semi-finals. But we'll wait and see. Because if he doesn't focus, there's nothing worse than Medvedev taking you to a three-setter, taking that little bit of extra energy out of you. That is an interesting fact, Super Dave. Sinner goes for the drop shot. Medvedev sees it all day long, but his drop shot is a poor effort. But Sinner then hits the net. The court was wide open. Medvedev right up at the net. No man's land. The whole court to aim for. He tried to go cross court. He hit the net, Sinner. Two poor or two average drop shots, shall we say. Medvedev really poor, because he let Sinner back into the rally. But Sinner, quite surprisingly, could only find the net. So we have two Medvedev break points, the first of the match. Come on, Daniil. First serve is wide. So we're on a second serve. Daniil Medvedev, though, still staying way back. It's a bouncer. It's a short serve by Sinner. Maybe because Medvedev was so far back. And Medvedev couldn't really get set on that one. And he's put it into the net. So one break point has been saved. Yeah, I don't want to be caught any disparaging remarks about any of the tennis players on show. Don't want them broadcast and getting us into any trouble. Nearly got myself into hot water just one time. Talking about Naked Thursdays. The players are rallying forehand to forehand at the moment. Medvedev looks to be in control of this rally. He might be in here, but Sinner changes it up a little bit, puts a little bit more venom on his forehands. Now Medvedev seems to be on the run. Good return, but Sinner hits the net, and Medvedev breaks back. It is 3-all. Good on you, Daniil. Gives this Italian crowd a little bit of something that, this will be the night session. They don't want to just come in for an hour, see their man win, and then just shuffle off home. Although, are the doubles on after this? I think the doubles might be on after this. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me check. No. Schedule. No, this is the, this is the last one. Okay, so back on serve, Medvedev takes the first point of game 7, set 2, and he takes the second point as well. So he's 30 love up. A little bit of drop in quality from Jannik Sinner. Yes, I did, Brazy. I said that I liked the look of him, and I was aptly shot down, and I think Jack Draper saw him off at the in New York fairly comfortably. As I say, I stumble from one mistake to another with no loss of enthusiasm, Brazy. So I'll make plenty more tennis predictions. Show me the man who has a 100% record at tennis predictions, and I'll show you a goddamn liar. So anyway, back to this Medvedev. He is playing some honest tennis, and he has flipped that one around. It's a 2-0 in the changeover there, because he breaks serve and then wins his serve fairly comfortably, and he's up at 4-3. So he might be making a match of this, and dispelling any of the doubters who thought he might tank the second set. Well done, Daniil. He's not on the beach just yet. Although Rumo, the official pasta of the ATP finals. Any maybe Italians here who have tried some Rumo pasta? Like to give us a little bit of a review. Is Rumo pasta any good? It's like I think John might be eating some Rumo pasta right this very second. But anyway, John will be joining us, and he can tell us about his Skupski experience and some of the dialogue they two maybe had after. Okay, so Daniil Medvedev, fair play to him. 4-3. Jannik Sinner, probably a drop in level. Remember, up until midway through this second set, Jannik Sinner had only lost 3 points on his serve. 24 out of 27 points he'd won. And even in the Medvedev then got to 30-all after he'd been broken serve. Medvedev thought, I'm not going out like this. And then, got to 30-all. Sinner saw him off that challenge, but not in the next one. And if you can just break again, we're going to have a 3-setter. And this could have impacts to the rest of the event in terms of, who goes where, who plays where. I think I'm right in saying. So, scenarios for tonight. If Medvedev defeats Sinner in 2, so it's going to be Sinner and Fritz, no matter what. They're going to be both 1 and 2. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter if Daniil wins and how many games he wins. The two of them are through, so that doesn't make nothing changes there. Okay, Medvedev takes point 1 in this Sinner service game. Sinner trailing 3-4 in set 2. As I mentioned before, he'll want this one wrapped up as quickly as possible. He'll be feeling the heat a little bit here. Medvedev kind of silenced the Turin crowd, who were firmly backing their boy, quite courageously in the sense of quite venomous and quite loud, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, Sinner gets that point. He had Medvedev on the run. Medvedev could only put his forehand into the net. Yeah, so Sinner 15-0. And it's 30-15. Sinner with an ace out wide. He loves that serve, doesn't he? That's the one that's kind of stuck by him that I've noticed from Australia, is that strong serve out wide that very few players can really get to, can match. And if he finds that mark, he's going to win about 15 to 20 points per match on that side, on that serve. Medvedev gives up that point. He thought it was out, I think. Oh, there he is. Our dear leader. How are we doing?
Just a second. Yeah, I'm good. And you?
Yes.
I think there wasn't anything on this now. If Daniil had won the first set, we could have got excited about. I mean, I think Daniil still cares. I mean, clearly he's broken back and there's some motivation there for him.
What is the motivation? Is it just not to go out with a whimper?
Points and probably some nice amounts of cash as well, which would probably make a bigger difference to you and I than it would to Daniil.
Did he not get a terrible amount of money in Saudi Arabia for doing nothing?
Yeah, right. But there is a third thing, which is I tend to find, although this probably applies for more that have lost their first two matches rather than sort of 1-1 lost one, but I find those already through sometimes do take their foot off the pedal just slightly in that last match. Those that are already out, especially if they've got a 0-2 record, they're keen to get, first of all, those points that I just mentioned, but also I think they just don't want to leave with a 0-3 record. De Minaur was sort of joking about it before today's match. He at least got a set. I just think there's a lot more pride involved. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as he loses that first
for the loser, more than the winner. If Sinner's through, and whoever it is, we saw at the WTA finals in the last sort of round of matches where maybe not Kazatkina, but we saw it with other players, and we've seen it before that you don't want to lose all three. It's a bit embarrassing,
Well, let me ask you, John. As I watch this point, I mean, he's lost the first two.
I've heard that before, Tom. Let me ask you, John. I know that one.
What is that? What? Who? Sorry, I'm
Let me ask you this. Go on.
No, sorry, I was watching a pretty epic rally that Medvedev just come through with this overhead smash. You might be a little bit behind me.
I'm definitely behind you, yeah.
But that was a great rally, and I got caught up in it. I looked for all the world that Sinner was going to win that one. He was on top of it, but Medvedev, some great defence. A drop shot by Sinner. Medvedev comes up to the net. He wrong foots Sinner, who then can only block, return it up high, and Medvedev puts away the smash. And that was a big point because he would have been love 40 down if he hadn't seen that one out. So he's now got it to 15-30. Still in a bit of trouble here because obviously if he loses this, Sinner serves for the match. Yeah, I was going to ask, what can Medvedev? We were having a discussion on the chat. Brazy was giving some decent points. I don't know if you heard that part, but Medvedev, first of all, this season, he's going to be disappointed in this season. He started in the Australian Open final. I think his only other one was the Indian Wells final. It hasn't won a title for the first time, I think, in his professional career, maybe. You might be able to correct me. Or at least
since 2017 when he would have been.
Yeah, 2017.
For him, he was a baby. But I mean, many other players have won slams by that time, but that's not he's not Carlos but yeah, it's a long time.
I'm not going to answer that, Ghost. But yeah, I'm just going to ask, what it's put me off completely. What can Medvedev go away in the close season and do? Is he just too long in the tooth now to actually change his game? But he obviously has to do something that is going to try and make more of a dent into these guys.
To be honest with you, I think it's more getting back his game. So yes, 18 months ago, we were still saying, what can he do, especially on return, especially the fact that he's very vulnerable to serve volley, especially on a slower court, such as Indian Wells, where we've seen, Carlos do his thing on a couple of occasions to Daniil, and there's not much he can do. Although I say that also on the speedier courts of Wimbledon too. But that was 18 months ago. And I think Daniil has not, rather than added some things to his game, he's actually lost some of the things that his game had, and particularly the serve. the double faults are there. I think he gets frustrated a bit more quickly. There's this shoulder issue. I don't know what the remedy is. I don't know how serious it is. I don't know how much it is affecting him, but it's something that he's mentioned from time to time. It's something that he's mentioned in relation to his serve in particular, of course. And yeah, if there's a remedy for that and he can get back to where he was before, at least then, especially on serve, because I mean, he was a top 3 server in the world in 21, 22. Maybe even a top 1 or 2, and probably was top 1 or 2. It's just right now, probably Alexander Zverev has probably got that tag, and with Jannik not far behind. But if he can get that back, at least that would give him a chance at hard court slams.
Yeah. I mean, Jannik Sinner, has just won a pretty epic point, which has got some of the fans in Turin on their feet. Do you think Daniil Medvedev will be happy if he doesn't change anything? I mean, is he going to be happy enough with being, a guy who's just, floating around the 5-6 in the world, getting to maybe quarterfinals, semi-finals, and just kind of losing ground on these players?
I think it would drive him nuts.
Yeah,
I think it is driving him nuts. We saw it in the first match here, and I think for players like him and Stefanos as well, when they've got no answers, that really drives them nuts. I mean, and Tsitsipas has no answers to Carlos, for example, and he looks lost on court and he looks lost in the media afterwards as well. Hey, Damian.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, seems like I'm pretty late.
Oh, no. I mean, I never expected you to be necessarily here for I wasn't sure when you'd be here. I knew you were table tennising it and stuff, so.
Table tennis, Damian, how did you get on? What, a win?
It was okay. I won a match where I was horrible and I lost a match where I was really good. So, it's all fine. It's in the balance. We were playing doubles as well, but we had to finish at in the 5th set. Like they literally told us to get off the table already.
Okay, so is this just a game amongst friends?
No, it's a practice. Like I'm practicing with the university team, even though I'm not at the university anymore.
Okay, because I was going to have a question for you about table tennis, right? So me and a pal, like years ago, went up there.
I just want to say there's been a break, and so we're going to have Jannik serving for the match.
Sorry, Jannik is going to be serving for the thing. Very quickly, David. Me and a pal, leisure centre in Glasgow. We were going to go up and play table tennis, and I didn't know if you're meant to turn up in shorts and t-shirt to go and play table tennis. So I didn't. My pal did, and it was just all over the place. So do you turn up to wear shorts and t-shirt when you're playing with your pals at table tennis?
I mean, what else would you wear?
I just wore tracksuit bottoms because I didn't know you needed to wear shorts.
I mean, if you want to, why not? But yeah, generally, I can show you how I'm.
Yes. Naked Thursdays. Here we go.
Have a shirt and these shorts. That's exactly my outfit for today. So
excellent.
So I think so. I think the answer is yes. Yeah, but I mean, if you want to play in a tracksuit, people might look at you a bit funny, but that's fine. I mean, that mostly just comes from the fact that it's an indoor sport, right? So
yes, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, there's no reason to wear a tracksuit if it's not going to be cold since it's indoors. But yeah, I mean, and Brazy, I didn't get any snakes in, like Adam Bobrov, but I did play one match where I was very defensive, and that was the one where I played well. Just the opponent was also too good. Anyway, Sinner Medvedev, yes. I mean, I've watched a bit on the train, enough to know what's happening, and enough to see that it's just like the recent matches, really. I mean, I sympathize with Medi a bit, because it's tough to get into a match and you're one of the best players in the world. You have a Grand Slam title, you've been number 1. You go into a match and you're like, how am I supposed to win this? So you start playing super aggressively. I've had that before as well with some very good opponents, definitely, where I just feel like, yeah, I have to go for it, and it's an unnatural level of aggression. I mean, you're not going to be pulling this off,
especially for a pusher like you, Damian, especially a pusher like you.
I was more thinking table tennis, but I guess I actually have gotten a bit more defensive the last couple of years. But anyway, never mind. That's not important. What is important is that Daniil Medvedev, I just wonder, how often is he actually going to win matches playing like this against Jannik, because so far it maybe worked at Wimbledon, but it was sort of that game plan when he was really trying for it. So Australia, so Shanghai, so here.
a little asterisk at Wimbledon in terms of
With what?
Sinner wasn't.
I mean, with the Sinner's physical issue, you can look at every single loss that Sinner has had this year as some sort of physical asterisk. So I choose to ignore
lovely
it.
return there, Eddie. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, that's basically what I mean. Like, how often is he gonna pull this off? Is it 1 out of 10? Is it worth it then? Probably not.
I mean, the old way he played won him 6 matches in a row.
Yeah. Now he doesn't believe it. He's probably right, but I think he might actually still have a better rate of success than what he's doing right now. Although on a court like this, I guess it's more, it makes sense to try this.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting away with a couple of returns here. I mean, that was that return that you spoke about earlier, John. He's just done it again. So
yeah, I love that return he did before. Run around forehand, return winner. I mean, it's not really in the Medvedev textbook.
Yeah.
I mean, his textbook is different to everyone else's on the planet, but that's part of his charm.
what are we thinking about tomorrow then? Where's the permutations for that?
Carlos has to basically win, does he? I mean, I'm just trying to think. If he loses,
Not really.
No, not really. If Casper loses in straights to Andre.
Yeah,
lovely.
Carlos would just need a set. I mean, it's all convoluted. Like, you can still get all these percentage of games won scenarios, and then they're very tough to track. Like today, right? I mean, if Alex won in 2, if Damian won in 2, the moment that Fritz won 8 games, it was done anyway. So
yeah, there was a threshold, wasn't there? I mean, obviously, with them playing first, if you're Carlos, I don't think you would take a 3-set loss. Because then you're still at big risk of going out with any kind of win for Casper. But that could be
game set match on my stream, Jannik Sinner.
How did it end?
Medvedev went long, just serve, return, and then Medvedev pushed it long.
What we have learned this much, though, is that Sinner will top the group. Of course, we learned it when he won the set, but Sinner will top the group. So basically, yeah, tomorrow we will learn who plays him. And that's also a big motivator for these guys, right?
Definitely, yeah, because I think it was a sort of 2.5 horse race before the tournament began. The half horse being Carlos, but finishing. Yeah, you couldn't put him ahead of Zverev in the favourites list, in my opinion.
I mean, everyone did. I'm not saying I would have, but I literally bookies and everything.
Not everyone. I'm not Tom. Not you. On that note, I've got to go, by the way, but you guys can see out the stream. But definitely post-match, talk about Medi and Sinner right now, and then I'll maybe even have a quick word on Carlos and Zverev.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you, Damian, the question I asked John just when he popped on. What can Medvedev do? What can he go away? His season's all but done now. He's going to come back to Australia, a place where he's been the finalist twice, and he's been 2 sets up in those finals. And but he's going to have to go away and try and do something about his game. And I know you kind of touched on it earlier, but 3 times. Sorry, John. What can he go away and do? Does he just have to try and go away with his coach and watch some matches with these guys are playing and figure out a way to try and make an impact to these guys? Because Mev, he was 6-0 against Sinner. Look at that. That's now Sinner in the lead at 8-7 in the head-to-head. What can he do?
Yeah, it's both the most lopsided matchup in history, but also it's super close, right? 8-7 after 15 matches, but not really. Yeah, I as I just said, I don't think this is a long-term solution, what he's trying to do right now. It's just not a level of aggression that is ever going to be natural for him. The fact that he's just constantly making backhand errors when he's playing Jannik, it's not just it isn't as simple as I saw some tweets today where people say, oh, the number of unforced errors from Daniil is surprising or is worrying. Well, not really. It's what he's trying to go for, right? It just goes with his game plan. I think definitely trying to keep improving in terms of standing closer to the baseline and returning at least in these matchups. I'm not saying he's supposed to do it every single performance against every single opponent, but they cannot be like abusing all these 7 volley patterns and also just out wide and, the other direction. Like they cannot be abusing it like this. First of all, he also, like someone mentioned in the chat, Dave, he needs to reset. He needs to nurse that shoulder finally, get some good practice on serve. Like against Sinner and Alcaraz, he basically needs any percentage he can get right now. They're so good. They're so much better than him as well, that he needs anything he can sort of like, just work through. And I think just if he has a good off season, finally can practice his serve better than he could in the summer of this year, maybe that's going to take his chances somewhere. I mean, as of right now, it's looking pretty bleak. He's not getting any younger either. They are still, well, we can, I think, still say that Sinner and Alcaraz are improving, or at least are close to their peak. Daniil, we are expecting him to like start falling off somewhere soon. So it's not looking bright, definitely. I think he's done a lot of good work. Definitely, he's made the step up many times in terms of just adjusting his return position a bit more. We remember how it was in the 2023 Wimbledon semi against Alcaraz when he tried that for a set, and he just couldn't get his racket even on the serves of Carlos, and on the serves of Carlos, not of like Giovanni Pericard. But right now, I mean, he's definitely getting better at this. I think still the rate of success he would have against Sinner would be a little better if he just tried playing his normal game with some micro adjustments rather than what he's trying to pull off right now. But I don't know. I can't blame him for trying either. Like I definitely understand and sympathize with his position, which is like he comes out onto the court against Jannik and he feels like there's nothing I can do. And yeah, I mean, it's a shame, but definitely there's still a bit of time at least. But in a best of 5 format match, I don't know if I buy it. Of course, he almost beat Jannik this year at the Australian Open. He then also beat him at Wimbledon, but it's going to be a struggle from here, and it's a shame because, of course, this is a guy who, well, by now he should have at least that second slam title.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there Jannik Sinner. We know his record this year, 68-6, I think it is. So yeah, just talk to me about just this guy's dominance. Is he even stretching ahead of Carlos now?
I mean, he's definitely ahead of Carlos in terms of consistency this year. The season that he's had, especially on hard courts, but even on grass, of course, he won Halle. But just in general, the level of dominance, the level of effectiveness of his tennis, like it's not really like a low margin game anymore. Sinner, when he was getting onto the tour, obviously he was known for like these violent accelerations, and for a while that was kind of his deal. But now he's very Djokovician in a way. And he just goes for big targets. He returns deep in the middle. He's got a great serve. He's got a great everything, of course. Last year, he added all these like extra elements as well with the drop shot, with the net play that was like very unnatural for him before. But now he feels decently confident. And he just has it all. I really don't know how Sinner from here like would be supposed to like, I don't know, start losing more than 15 matches in a season. Like it just seems a little unrealistic by now. He definitely has like shot by shot. He has the best game right now on the tour for sure. Of course, Carlos leads him 3-0 in the head-to-head if we forget the Saudi exhibition, which I am inclined to forget because, well, I don't think we should count this. But he leads him 3-0. And that's kind of more on, I don't know, just like game IQ and maybe the wider skill set that he has. But like shot for shot, you cannot match Jannik right now. And the season that he's had is literally like one of the best 10-15 of all time if he wins the ATP finals, I think, easily. And it was just absolutely ridiculous. So that's all I have to say, really. Like he sometimes he is even that good that he becomes a bit boring in it because dominance works like this. Like I definitely remember some other seasons from tennis players where you just felt like, okay, can someone beat them already? Or like, I'm not even gonna tune into this match because it's obviously gonna be a routine victory. And that's where we are with Sinner right now. Yeah. He's just dominant to this extent and just is making it look very, very safe. It all started really from Australia, of course, earlier also Beijing, but I think it was more Australia where like you could see he's not like peeking out of his mind. That's just how good he is at the moment. And he kept it up the entire season. Yeah. Still some fatigue concerns, but like, still the guy won 2 slams. What fatigue concerns are we talking about?
He seems to have got over certainly those kind of issues, and the boring dominance is one that I felt about Man United in the 90s, always wanting somebody to beat them because they were very, very boring. Let me ask you then about Carlos. We touched on him there, and his form's been a bit hot and cold recently, and you can put that down to maybe not feeling 100% as the kind of line goes. Playing Zverev, of course, beating him in Australia at the start of the year. Alcaraz has managed to bite back a couple of times this year, but what does Carlos have to do so that we avoid? First of all, to qualify, and is there a way that he can top the group still, so that he doesn't face Sinner until the final?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Rublev beats Ruud and Alcaraz beats Zverev, then Alcaraz tops the group, because they're gonna be both on 2-1, and then the head-to-head comes into play. I mean, pretty much everything is possible there, because just like in this group before today, there were no free set matches. So it's always possible for free players to have the same set record, be it players who are 2-1 or players who are 1-2. So the same record, I mean, in sets, not the same free set record. So basically, yeah, it's all super open. It can go to percentage of games, both for the players being, looking for second place, and both for the players looking for the first place and second place in that sense as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously Carlos would just like to win and give himself a better chance at qualifying. Even a win doesn't give him much, because still, if Casper beats Rublev in 2, then we still can go to percentage of games won. So I mean, and if he drops a set and Casper doesn't, then he would actually be out, right? So it's not very clear. Definitely, we were expecting this match between Zverev and Alcaraz to be the Wednesday one, where they play kind of for first place in the group. Of course, it wouldn't be very set in stone yet, but that's what we were thinking. Did it go kind of all right? Maybe because of the cold, yes. The court is a little more suitable for him than it was last year, so I think it should be dangerous. I saw that he's still perceived as a slight favorite, which I don't really agree with, but it's at least a 50-50 from Zverev's perspective for me. But of course, yeah, this is where he is. Ruud's the loss was unexpected, but now he just has to make do and yeah, make the best out of it. He definitely can still avoid playing Sinner, but that would require him to beat Zverev and then Rublev to beat Ruud, which I mean isn't unrealistic at all. So it's actually a pathway we can potentially see. Yes.
Yeah, realistic. Let's finish with the from the biggest match in the ATP finals tomorrow to the biggest one in the Challenger Tour today, and it was the big one that I think Vanch had put a message in the WhatsApp about. João Fonseca against Landaluce. Could you tell us, did you watch it? I know you were playing ping pong, so you might have missed it, but this was the kind of big one for the up and comers.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 sets. Then indeed I had to actually stop, but I did also just catch up with the breaker because it was an 11-9 final set tiebreak. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the story writes itself there. Landaluce won the 2022 US Open Juniors. Fonseca won it the year after. They are both also very close to each other in the next gen finals race, 7 and 8. I think they are probably both going to get in just because, we don't know still how many people of the top of the rankings aren't going to show up. Fils it presumably isn't. So I think they're both probably going to be in Jeddah eventually. Brilliant match. I mean, first set was really clear for Fonseca. He went briefly up a break in the second. It was really reminding me of this match I watched in May in Mauthausen when Schwarzler beat Landaluce. That's another, great youngster matchup. Schwarzler and Landaluce, even more history between each other because they played a under 16 European Championship final or something like that in the juniors. But anyway, there it was clear that while Martin is a very good ball striker, and it's always been the case in juniors, he's just not as maybe, he doesn't have the same variety, the same repertoire that guys like Fonseca or Schwarzler do, which is pretty funny too, because Fonseca and Schwarzler sometimes just ball bash to an extent that is painful for the eyes, but yet they are still a lot more multi-dimensional. But yeah, I mean, he's stuck in. He had a few very long games at the beginning of the second set and just started rolling. There was a break advantage that Fonseca couldn't get back. I didn't watch the third set. I only watched the breaker, so can't speak about that all that much. I mean, Fonseca had most of the match points. Eventually, he only had to save one himself. Pretty decent point, plus on forehand and then a smash. He missed let's say a drive volley earlier in the breaker. So I think that there must have been some sort of, drama there, just coming to play that shot. I think he probably was a bit uneasy, but he didn't make it show. And yeah, 11-9 in the breaker. Both players, they were looking for their first indoor semifinal at any level. They've only played like 5-10 matches professionally indoors. Definitely not conditions that they have mastered. But I actually really like the fact that, well, I mean, for Landaluce, it was very obvious. He won that huge challenger 125 in Olbia, so he's in Europe and everything. So it's obvious for him that he's going to play indoor hard a lot. But for Fonseca, I really like this choice as well. Some people have been suggesting that he should be in South America, gaining points and getting into the top 100. I think with many decisions regarding Joao's career so far, it's like clear they're going for the long-term benefits rather than looking to, just get into the top 100 in a month or something like that. Like they haven't really cared about that clearly, he and his team. And they are more looking and long-term development rather than short-term gains. And I think this is still going to make him a much better player, the stretch that he's playing in Europe right now. Why wouldn't Fields go, Ghosty? I mean, he's just ranked in the top 20. Seems like he's a little above this event. Maybe, I think the only thing that he could, potentially can convince him to go is the fact that we have this new date for the Next Gen Finals, and it's 18 to 22nd December. So it's like middle of the off-season technically, but maybe the players can use it as like a warm-up practice before the next season. I don't know. Like it's something we haven't seen yet, so we are yet to test it. But I would say that, this is probably going to be a Fields withdrawal. Some people are suggesting Mikkelsen as well. Some people are suggesting Menchik and Shang. I think Menchik and Shang, given they didn't play last year, they should be pretty pleased to show up. Mikkelsen played last year, so I think there's some uncertainty there. And Fields is already, I think he's already said as well that he's probably not going to go to Jeddah. So we'll see. When it comes to Olnie, Sean, I mean, Fonseca was the third player signed up after Świątek and, of course, Shelton. Now they also have Koboli, but he's been with that company for a while. And also, will you do live stream watch-alongs for Next Gen? I mean, if it's like kind of, in watchable times, and it's going to be because it's Jeddah. If I don't have anything to do on these days, 1822, I'm absolutely all for it. I mean, I love that event to death.
Brilliant. Well, Damian, it's always an absolute pleasure. You're like a walking encyclopedia of tennis. I love it. Okay, I have to give you a quick prediction for Carlos. Well, I'll go with my heart. I want Carlos to win it. I like Carlos. I don't like Zverev. I'm allowed to say that. So I'll go for Carlos in 3. Let's say that. Damian?
Zverev in 3. I mean, just as I said, I think it's a 50-50 at least from Zverev's perspective. So that's what I got to go for. And I think it's closer than last year, though. I remember when they were playing last year at the ATP finals, I was just like, I mean, there's no shot that Carlos is going to win this match. But this time, it's much, much easier. It's actually pretty funny because some of the scenarios are very similar. Like last year, Zverev beat Alcaraz, had a 2-1 record, but didn't, he was eliminated. And this is, well, right now it's not possible because he's 2-0, but he could actually still be eliminated with a 2-1 record again if he loses to Carlos and then Casper, of course, wins. So, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a mess. If I have to say something, Zverev in 3 is my guess.
Excellent. Well, John's going to finish up the stream, but everyone, there's nearly 200 of you guys in here, so it's been a pleasure taking you through this one tonight, and I'm sure we'll see each other over the weekend, all right? See you later.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
You join us here for the Seville ATP Challenger. Rock up a day to serve. What's he gonna serve up? Some tapas? A good first serve. Gives him a 40-love lead. This all Spanish affair against Cabellas Baena. Not known for his big serving, but that was decent. That was not. Let the tennis do the talking. One-handed backhand clips the net. Bit fortunate there. Drop shot. Oh, you cannot teach that. You cannot teach that. Takes a 2-1 lead.
If you enjoyed this video,
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí? Tranquilo. Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal?
Bien, bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh? Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va?
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos. Te llaman 2 minutos. Lo 8 ya.
Ah, estás...
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar la cosa.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedes una foto, por favor?
Pues
Esto rápido,
Sí, ¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias, chicos.
Un saludito, Rafa.
Voy. Muy bien.
Tienes tú en tu academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí.
Toma, yo quiero
¿Lo puedes
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo
valla.
quiero otra, por favor.
algo que pueda
Venga. Ay, nena.
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia. Ya. Hombre. Yo no sabía. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Ah, cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador. Hostia. Que no fuerte, ¿eh? Bruno. Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí?
Tranquilo.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal?
Bien, bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh? Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va?
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos. Te llaman 2 minutos.
Lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Vamos allá, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar la cosa.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedo una foto?
Pues
Esto rápido, que
Sí,
llego tarde.
¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Oh, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy.
Muy bien.
Tienes tú en tu academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí.
Toma, yo quiero
¿Lo puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo
valla.
quiero otra, por favor.
algo que pueda
Venga. Ay, nena.
Quítate,
Que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia.
Ya.
Hombre. Yo no sabía.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás? ¡Ah, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado!
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh?
Bruno.
Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate.
está viniendo.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí?
Tranquilos. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
¿Todo bien?
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
Se ha enterado un poco. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va?
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era
Te llaman 2 minutos.
lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar la cosa.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedes una foto?
Pues
Esto rápido, que
Sí,
llego tarde.
¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy.
Muy bien.
Tienes tú en tu academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí.
Toma, yo quiero
¿Lo puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo
valla.
quiero otra, por favor.
algo que pueda
Venga. Ay, nena.
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia.
Ya.
Hombre. Yo no sabía.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Cómo estás?
Ah, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh?
Bruno.
Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. Set. A ver, espérate. Ahí está. Está bien, un poco más. Ahí está. ¿Qué pasa? Avanza.
está viniendo.
Todo el tío, no bastante.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Cuidado? ¿Tú me has ido el vuelo? Sí.
Tranquilo. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
Joder.
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
Se han un poco. Ya. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va? Bien.
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era 2000.
Te llaman 2 minutos. Venga, chao.
Lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar las cosas.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedes una foto, por favor?
Pues
Esto rápido.
Sí, ¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy. ¿Qué hace falta?
Muy bien.
En este momento academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí.
Toma, yo quiero
¿Lo puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa,
valla.
yo quiero otra, por favor.
algo que me
Pues
pueda
Venga. Ay, nena.
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias, Sergio.
Respiro. Hostia. Ya. Hombre. Yo no sabía.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Cuidado. ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh? Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Está bien, un poco.
está viniendo.
Todo el dirigir, tío, no bastante.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Tú me has ido el vuelo? Sí.
Tranquilo.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
Joder.
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va?
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era
Te llaman 2 minutos. Venga, chao.
lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás...
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Vamos allá, hacemos una foto con...
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar las cosas.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedo una foto?
Pues
Esto rápido,
Sí, ¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy.
¿Qué hace falta?
Muy bien.
En este momento academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí. Toma, yo
¿Lo
quiero
puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa,
valla.
yo quiero otra, por favor.
algo que me puedas
Venga. Ay, nena.
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga,
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia.
Ya.
Hombre. Yo no sabía
¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh? Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Ahí está. Está bien, un poco.
está venint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí?
Tranquilo. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
Joder.
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va?
colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era 2000.
Te llaman 2 minutos. Venga, chao.
Lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Todos ahí hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar las cosas.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedo una foto?
Pues
Esto rápido, que llego tarde.
Sí, ¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy.
¿Qué hace falta?
Muy bien.
En este momento academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí. Toma, yo
¿Lo
quiero
puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa,
valla.
yo quiero otra, por
Rafa,
favor.
¿tiene algo que
Venga.
me puedas dar,
Venga.
por favor?
Ay, nena.
Ahora,
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga,
Muchas
vete,
gracias.
Rafa. Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia. Ya. Hombre. Yo no sabía.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh? Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Aquí está. Está bien, un poco más.
Está venint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo?
Bien.
¿Sí?
Tranquilos. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh? Sí.
Bien.
Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
Espera un poco. Ya. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va? Bien.
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era 2000.
Te llaman 2 minutos. Venga, chao.
Lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
bien, muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto.
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar las cosas.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedes una foto, por favor?
Pues no.
Sí, ¿me la hacéis?
Sí. Ay, un momento. Oh, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy. ¿Qué hace falta? Muy bien.
Tienes tú en tu academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí. Toma, yo quiero.
¿La puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo
valla.
quiero otra, por favor.
¿Tiene algo que
Venga.
pueda dar,
Venga.
por favor?
Ay, nena.
Ahora,
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos. No, no.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga,
Muchas
vete,
gracias.
Rafa.
Venga.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia. Ya. Hombre. Yo no sabía. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
¡Oh, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado!
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh? Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate.
está viniendo.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí?
Tranquilos. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
¿Todo bien?
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
Un poco. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va? Bien.
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era
Te llaman 2 minutos. Venga,
lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto.
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias. Que va a soltar la cosa.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedes una foto, por favor?
Pues sí,
¿me la hacéis?
sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias. Un saludito, Rafa.
Voy.
¿Qué hace falta? Muy bien.
Tienes tú en tu academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí.
Toma, yo quiero
¿Lo puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo
valla.
quiero otra, por
Rafa,
favor.
¿tiene algo que
Venga.
pueda dar,
Venga.
por favor?
Ay, nena.
Ahora,
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Quítate,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias, Fer.
Respiro. Hostia.
Ya.
Hombre, yo no sabía. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Ah, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh?
Bruno.
Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Está bien, un poco más.
está viniendo.
Todo el sitio, no bastante.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo?
Bien.
¿Sí?
Tranquilo. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
Joder.
Sí.
Bien.
Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
Espera un poco. Bien. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? Bien.
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era
Dime, te llaman 2 minutos. Venga, chao.
lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar la cosa.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedo una foto, por favor?
Pues
Esto rápido,
no.
sí, ¿me la hacéis?
Sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy. ¿Qué hace falta? Muy bien.
Tienes tú en tu academia, ¿eh?
¿Así?
Sí.
Toma, yo
¿Lo
quiero
puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo quiero otra, por
Rafa,
favor.
¿tiene algo que me pueda dar,
Venga.
por favor?
Ay, nena.
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos, sí, vamos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga,
Muchas
te,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia. Ya. Hombre. Yo no sabía. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador.
Hostia,
Que no fuerte, ¿eh?
Bruno.
Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Aquí está. Está bien, un poco.
está viniendo.
Todo el titín, tío, no bastante. Esa es la cosa.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí?
Tranquilo. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
Joder.
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
Un poco. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va? Bien.
Tenemos una colección, todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era
Dime, te llaman 2 minutos. Venga, chao.
lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Que va a soltar las cosas.
Muchísimas gracias, Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Rafa.
Rafa, un saludito. Rafa, ¿me la puedes dedicar?
Rafa, ¿puedo una foto, por favor?
Pues
Esto
no.
rápido.
Sí, ¿me la hacéis?
Sí. Ay, un momento. Ay, espérate, perdón.
Gracias,
Un
chicos.
saludito, Rafa.
Voy. ¿Qué hace falta? Muy bien.
En este momento academia, ¿eh?
¿Ah, sí?
Sí.
Toma, yo
¿Lo
quiero
puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa,
valla.
yo quiero otra, por
Rafa,
favor.
¿tiene algo que
Venga.
pueda
Venga.
darme, por favor?
Ay, nena.
Quítate,
que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar,
cariño.
chicos.
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. Hostia. Ya. Hombre. Yo no sabía.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Cómo estás?
Cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador. Hostia, que no fuerte, ¿eh? Bruno. Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Está bien, un poco.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Play.
Hombre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo ha ido el vuelo? ¿Sí?
Tranquilos. Suerte.
Charlie, puedes saludar, ¿eh?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cuánto
Bien,
tiempo?
bien. Mucho tiempo, ¿eh?
¿Todo bien?
Sí. Bien, tío. ¿Tú?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va?
Tenemos una colección. Todas las de temporadas.
Te llaman 2 minutos.
Esto era
Te llaman 2 minutos. Venga,
lo 8 yo creo.
Ah, estás.
Muchas gracias.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Vamos ahí, hacemos una foto con
Sí. Sí, un momentito solo. Gracias.
Play.
Voy. ¿Qué hace falta? Muy bien.
En este momento academia, ¿eh?
¿Ah, sí?
Sí.
Toma, yo quiero
¿Lo puedo
otra.
hacer por aquí?
Rafa, yo quiero otra.
Pero también, o él o el teléfono está en la
Rafa, yo
valla.
quiero otra, por
Rafa,
favor.
¿tiene algo que
Venga.
pueda darme,
Venga.
por favor?
Ay, nena.
Quítate,
Que
Lucía,
acabo de
quítate,
llegar.
cariño.
Chicos,
Lucía, quítate, cariño.
Vale, venga.
Venga.
Muchas
Suerte,
gracias.
Rafa.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Perfecto.
Respiro. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás?
Ah, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien? Ah, aquí tenemos un encordador. Hostia, que no fuerte, ¿eh?
Bruno.
Que no fuerte la máquina, Bruno. A ver, espérate. Ahí está. Está bien, un poco. Está viniendo. Me cago en la hostia. ¿Qué? No me deja más mal. No fa todo el direct, tío. No bastante. Esa es la cosa. ¿Qué hay aquí?
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.